Hello and welcome. And if you haven't seen the first part, or just forgot, I bought an old postal truck, and it kind of looks like trash. Today we're going to see if we can make it at least a bit better. And because I'm doing this voiceover from the future, I can tell you it definitely gets better. Now, because the truck is basically a big cube, you'd think it'd be incredibly easy to paint, but all the rivets actually keep you from sanding everything perfectly flat. This is fine. I wasn't looking for a super glossy mirror finish. We're just going for a good, clean refinish here. Before really getting into the thick of it with a compressor and a spray gun, I actually rolled on, yes, rolled on like a house, a super thin coat of primer just to get a better idea of what spots really needed more work. Clearly, I diluted it just a little too much because it dripped all over the place. But it didn't hurt anything, as most of this was getting sanded back anyway. I'm not saying this was good technique, but it did work. And while I was at it, I threw a first coat of primer up on the roof as well. I don't know what paint they used back in the day, but the past 30 years just obliterated any paint that was left on the roof. It's surprisingly high up there, too. Should I put a roof deck up top? I actually don't have any footage of it, probably because it was really boring, but I spent hours out here scraping and sanding between these first couple coats. So for the paint, I first put down a coat or two of Rustoleum white primer, followed by Rustoleum white gloss, and then a couple more rattle cans of various colors for the design. We'll get there. Rustoleum gets a bit of a bad rap. I'm thinking after all this that it's mostly due to the accessibility of it, and that leading to all the poor quality rattle can paint jobs, not the paint itself, which is pretty decent. I'm not sponsored by them either, but call me. Compared to buying a bunch of rattle cans, buying the same paint in quart jars and spraying it out of an entry-level Harbor Freight spray gun ended up making a way more consistent paint job for the same or less money, and it's probably a little bit better for the planet too. The main limiting factor here is actually my skill. I had nearly zero experience with spray guns for this, and on the first coats I was definitely moving it way too fast, but hey, I eventually figured it out. All in all, I think this used about 1 quart of primer, 2 quarts of color coat, and just 1 can of each accent color for a total paint cost right around $100, not including the air compressor, of course. And finally, for the design, I debated a couple different designs, but eventually made up a sort of blend of the classic American post truck with the Martini racing livery. So I'm a big fan of the 70s rally cars, especially the old Lancias and Porsches, and paying homage to these legendary off-road race cars with an old box truck is kind of funny to me. The end result is obviously neither an active postal truck nor a race car, but still ends up being white with red and blue stripes, and it just couldn't have been a more perfect fit. Anyway, the rest of it should be pretty self-explanatory, so I'm just gonna shut up, and yeah, I hope you like how it turns out.